The 29th of November is the United Nations Day of Solidarity with Palestinians. I'm Linda Rose, the chairwoman of SUNFO International Children's Wing. SUNFO is a non-political, non-racial, non-sectarian organisation focusing on the Sustainable Development Goals for a better future for all. And I welcome you to our conference on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals and how life under the occupation affects these in the occupied territories of Palestine. Now we come to Goal 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, and we welcome a student from Al-Quds University to speak to us now. Thank you.
I'm a student from Quds University. Firstly, I want to apologize for not sharing my video and my name because of some security issues, as Linda mentioned before. And, a bunch of Israeli attacks are threatening us, so it's not 100% safe for us to be sharing everything about ourselves as information, but at the same time, I want to share the truth and help to spread it so it can be obvious to everyone in the world. Okay, so starting off, I want to talk about the SDG goal 11, which is the Sustainable Development Goal 11 that seeks to create inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable cities and communities. The goal encompasses various targets, including ensuring access to safe and affordable housing and basic services, promoting sustainable and inclusive transport systems, and safeguarding cultural and natural heritage, reducing the impact of disasters on vulnerable populations, addressing environmental concerns such as air quality and waste management, and fostering positive economic and social and environmental connections between urban and rural areas. The overarching aims to enhance the quality of life for all residents, with a particular focus on the needs of marginalized groups. Yeah. So achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 11 requires a multifaceted approach with the allocation of diverse resources, financial investment, and crucial for developing the upgrading infrastructure, affordable housing, and the smart city technologies. Human resources, including the skilled workforce and urban planning and community engagement, are essential for effective implementation. Institutional resources involve establishing strong governance structure, regulatory frameworks, and data systems for informed decision making. Additionally, technological resources such as green and smart technologies play a pivotal role in promoting sustainability. Collaborative partnership, both domestically and internationally, are vital for leveraging expertise and resource for governments. Also, the private sectors, NGOs, and local communities. Education and awareness campaigns are also necessary for fostering public understanding for sustainable practices. And lastly, a commitment to infrastructure development, which is really important. The alignment with sustainable principles and comprehensive urban planning contribute to the realization of the SDG Goal 11 and the objectives. Now, moving forward, I want to talk about achieving this goal in Palestine. And as everyone mentioned before, about the situation in Palestine, and I want to talk about why and what prevents the application of sustainable cities and communities in Palestine. Firstly, the ongoing political instability in Palestine because of the Israeli occupation that creates significant barriers to long-term urban planning and sustainable development. The prevention and disruption make it almost impossible to implement consistent and comprehensive policies. And also the presence of checkpoints, barriers, and the apartheid wall, and restrictions on the movement of people and good hampers the development of cohesive and well-connected urban areas. Limited access affects the prevention of services, infrastructure development, and economic opportunities. Moving forward to resource constraints, in the Palestinian territories, particularly in Gaza and the West Bank, they face resource constraints, including limited land and availability, and water scarcity and economic challenges. These constraints impede the development of sustainable infrastructure housing, which also takes us to the humanitarian concerns because the territories grapple with humanitarian challenges, including displacement, housing shortage, and inadequate living conditions. Humanitarian crisis can divert attention to and resources away from long-term sustainable development goals, as well as the settlement expansion of the Israeli settlements in the West Banks, the West Bank that poses a significant challenge to sustainable urban development, leading to issues such as land fragmentation, restricted access to water, and other resources, and dispute over the territory. Moving to number 6, the environmental degradation. The conflict-related activities and resource scarcity contribute to environmental degradation, affecting air and water quality. This hampers efforts to create environmentally sustainable and resilient urban spaces, and limited local authority control, the fragmented political and administrative structures, particularly in the context of West Bank and Gaza. Okay. Yes. That can limit the ability of local authorities plan to and implement sustainable development initiatives effectively. And in this context, I want to talk about the situation in Gaza right now. And I want to show an example of the Palestinian community that has always been targeted with violence and bombardment. Gaza Strip is the most populated place on Earth that has 2 million people living in 365 kilometers squares. Gazan people have witnessed multiple wars and reconstruction processes over the years. A siege was imposed on Gaza, separating it geographically and economically from the West Bank and causing the most unstable life that anyone could ever have. In the pictures here, you can see Gaza City before the war and after multiple reconstruction processes because of the constant wars that are being imposed and attacks by the Israelis on Gaza and aggressions. And here you can see in the pictures attached the Gaza City right now because of the mass destructions of houses, mosques, refugee camps, schools, churches, hospitals, and all the infrastructure in Gaza Strip due to the Israeli aggression on Gaza over the past 50 years or more. And also, I want to mention that on the societal level, people in Gaza tend to create lives out of nothingness, despite living in concentration camps since 2017. People in Gaza show excellence in their ability to live in a better environment in close community. They invent, invest, and produce with high percentage of education that was found to be super high numbers of intellectuals and educated people with percentage reaches up to almost 98% of the entire population. So knowing that means that because of war, people in Gaza suffer a lot. But if they had the chance to have a life, they would be one of the best nations living on earth because of their abilities and intellectual abilities as well. So in this context, I wanted to show what a sustainable development projects in Palestine could be, despite all the challenges. There are many inspiring examples to apply this goal. For example, building rooftop gardens on Gaza City because of the lack of land spaces, and because of also land theft and the expansion of Israeli settlement around Gaza and in the West Bank, that causes the reduction of land spaces. So maybe building rooftop gardens can provide sustainable solution and can provide a source of fresh fruits and vegetables into the community, in addition to providing food security and some providing improving the air quality in Gaza. And also building solar panel on the West Bank that is already being built, but also because of the constant destruction on both the lands of Gaza and the West Bank, it's also hard for people to maintain sustainability in building such solar panels and everything else. Also investing in the renewable energy because of, and also particularly in solar and wind power, investing in these sources of energy can not only promote sustainability, but also create jobs to reduce dependence on imported energy, and improving the public transportation, depending more on the public transportation infrastructure, leading to increased use of private vehicles and traffic congestion. And finally, I wanna say that sustainable citizen communities is crucial for the occupied land of Palestine, and the current situation presents many challenges, but there are also opportunities to create positive change. Through sustainable urban planning, community engagement, and international cooperation, we can work towards more just and equitable future for all Palestinians. We must continue to advocate for the recognition of Palestinian rights and implementation of the SDGs in the region. Together, we can build sustainable cities and communities that promote peace and dignity for all. And thank you so much. This was my presentation. I hope everyone stays safe, and thank you so much.